What if I told you someone doesn't need to touch you, yell at you, or even insult you to completely control your life? All they need is money. And once they control that, they can control your reality. Financial abuse is one of the most invisible forms of psychological control. It doesn't leave bruises. It doesn't always look aggressive. And most people don't even recognize it until they feel trapped. Today, we're breaking down the psychology behind financial gaslighting. How someone can use money to distort your perception, limit your freedom, and slowly make you question your own independence. And by the end of this, you'll never look at shared finances the same way again. In the beginning, it doesn't feel like control. It feels like generosity. They pay for everything. They insist you don't have to worry. They say things like, "I've got you. You don't need to stress about money anymore." And at first it feels safe. But that generosity isn't freedom. It's positioning. Because the moment one person controls all financial resources, they also control access, decision-making, and survival. And slowly the dynamic shifts. What once felt like support becomes dependency. And dependency is where control begins. But here's where it gets disturbing. At some point, the tone changes. The same person who once said, "Spend whatever you need," starts asking questions. Why did you buy that? Do you really need this? Where's all the money going? And it doesn't happen all at once. It's subtle, gradual, almost logical. But underneath it is a shift from provider to controller. Now your spending is monitored. Your choices are questioned. Your independence is quietly reduced. And over time, you start explaining yourself, justifying yourself, even for basic needs. This isn't budgeting. This is conditioning. Here's where financial gaslighting becomes powerful. The numbers stop making sense. Accounts you don't fully see. Bills you didn't know existed. Debt that somehow includes your name. You ask questions, and the response, "You're overreacting. You don't understand how finances work. Trust me, I'm handling it." And suddenly, you doubt yourself, even if something feels off. You begin to assume you're the problem. Not just controlling your money, but controlling your perception of reality. And this is where most people get stuck. Because by this point, it's no longer about money. It's about fear. Leaving doesn't just mean emotional separation. It means financial uncertainty. Where will you live? How will you support yourself? What if you can't make it on your own? And the person in control knows this. That's why the system is designed to make independence feel dangerous. Even impossible. You'd never survive without me. You don't know how the real world works. You should be grateful. And over time, those words stop sounding like manipulation. They start sounding like truth. This is the cage. Not locked doors, but locked thinking. One of the most confusing parts is inconsistency. One day, they're generous again, buying gifts, offering money, acting supportive. And the next day, they're restrictive, critical, and cold. This creates a powerful psychological loop, because you start chasing the good version of them. You think, maybe things are getting better. Maybe I just need to be more understanding. But the inconsistency isn't random. It's what keeps you attached. Because unpredictability creates dependency. And this is the part most people never talk about. Over time, this doesn't just affect your finances. It affects your identity. You stop making decisions. You stop trusting your judgment. You start asking for permission for things you once handled on your own. And slowly, you lose the version of yourself that felt independent. This isn't weakness. This is erosion. Because when someone controls your resources, they shape your behavior. And when they shape your behavior, they reshape how you see yourself. The hardest part about all of this is that it often looks normal. Shared finances are common. Budgeting is responsible. One partner earning more is typical. So where's the line? The line is control versus collaboration. Healthy dynamics involve transparency, mutual decision-making, respect for independence, but control hides inside things that look responsible, while functioning as restriction. And that's why so many people don't see it, until they feel trapped. But the moment things begin to change is the moment you see it clearly. Not emotionally, not reactively, but with awareness. You start noticing the shift, the patterns, the subtle ways your independence has been reduced. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. You begin separating truth from manipulation. And that changes everything. Because reclaiming control doesn't start with confrontation. It starts with clarity, understanding what's really happening, asking questions, seeing the full picture. It may feel uncomfortable. It may feel uncertain. But clarity is where freedom begins. Because control only works when it stays invisible. Financial gaslighting isn't about money. It's about power. The power to shape your choices, your confidence, your reality. And the most dangerous part is how quietly it happens. But now you see it. And once you see it, you're no longer easy to control. If this shifted your perspective, stay with me. Because once you understand how psychological control works beneath the surface, you start seeing it everywhere. And that's where real awareness begins.